It's Off the Beaten Path Podcast with me, Ben Merritt. And you won't be hearing any of that here.
It's been a crazy long week, working, run. The weekend's here, time to have some fun. It's a girls' night out, all weekend long. Bunch of crazy cowgirls out to have some fun. Going honky-tonk until the break of dawn. Cute guys, cool drinks, singing our songs. Crazy cowgirls, dancing the two-step and feeling our groove. Crazy cowgirls, watch out boys, we're in a mood. Hit our favorite bar with our favorite band, kicking out their jams, we're their biggest fans. Halftime two-step Texas swing, me and my girls, we're gonna dance and sing. Going honky-tonk until the break of dawn, just getting started rocking all night long. Crazy cowgirls, dancing the two-step and feeling our groove. Crazy cowgirls, watch out boys, we're in a mood. Looking so good in your head and your jeans. Not this weekend, don't wanna see me. No time for cowards, don't get me wrong, but it's a girls' night out all weekend long. Just some crazy cowgirls getting down tonight, catching up on girl talk till the end of the night, dancing with some cuties and having some fun. No hookups tonight, who's next 'cause you're done. Just some crazy cowgirls getting down tonight, catching up on girl talk till the end of the night, dancing with some cuties and having some fun. No hookups tonight, who's next 'cause you're done.
Off the Beaten Path Podcast, me, Ben Merritt. There is Ashley Wineland, and this very young, very talented young country singer with her song Crazy Cowgirl off the Family Business album has been helping people basically since she started. Her dad gifted her some recording time in a studio at age 13 for her birthday, and since then, she's actually had some big success with a big song called Red, White, and Blue, and she has donated all of the proceeds back from that one to pretty much every veterans-related charity that you can think of. So she's very big-hearted, very talented. Hopefully we get more and more young country artists like Ashley Wineland in the very, very near future. So, Ben Merritt's hanging out with you here on Off the Beaten Path Podcast. This week, Cole Washburn. He's our special guest. Kind of excited to chat with Cole. He's a very talented singer-songwriter, and I am in love with a lot of the words that he uses for his songs. So, looking forward to that in just a little bit here on the show. But I was excited to find a local guy. He's from northern Wisconsin. His name is Hugh Bob. Well, Hugh Robert Masterson, but the Hugh Bob and the Hustle is the name of the band. And again, they're local to me in the Northwoods of Wisconsin, though. So here's Hugh Bob and the Hustle. This is Blame Me. It's Off the Beaten Path Podcast with me, Ben Merritt.
Blame me, it's all my fault. Spending all your hard love, spending all my money at the bar. Blame me, it's all my fault. Now I know why your friends are talking. I don't know what keeps you loving me. giving it all back to you. Play me, play me, play me, play me.
Country music.
It's Off the Beaten Path Podcast with me, Ben Merritt.
About a mile off the blacktop, southbound, do you see the crowd? Little Jimmy Moore's got a jacked up Ford, cranking that country sound. There's Bobby Ann in a store-bought tan, never seen legs quite that long. She's looking like a dream in her cut-off jeans and high heels on. If you got a beer can, hold it in your hand, come on, raise it up. Right up next to your mouth, pour it on down south, come on, drink it up. It's Friday night, no cover charge, small town rednecks living in large. George Strait on the radio, crank it up, crank it up. Ricky, he's flipping that barbecue chicken and the smoke rolls in the air. And old Claude stops flirting when the girls go to twerking, 'cause all he can do is stare. Hottie sitting on ball tires, circle around a bonfire site that can't be missed. Damn, the view's great from my tailgate, don't get no better than this. If you got a beer can, hold it in your hand, come on, raise it up. Right up next to your mouth, pour it on down south, come on, drink it up. It's Friday night, no cover charge, small town rednecks living in large. Some old George Jones on the radio, crank it If you got a beer can, hold it in your hand, come on, raise it up. Right up next to your mouth, pour it on down south, come on, drink it up. It's Friday night, no cover charge, small town rednecks living in large. So put a little wailing on the radio, crank it up, crank it up.
Off the Beaten Path Podcast with me, Ben Merritt. That's Down Day and their latest tune, Crank It Up After All These Years, is the name of the album, and it's a big one. I'm excited because these guys have basically just been making waves since they started. They've got a couple of tunes out before this, Back in the Day and the last song, and back when they released the Back in the Day album, or the video, excuse me, that one literally went viral as of like TV standards. So you could find that one on CMT, GAC, Zeus, every one of the online video players, Vivo, things like that. So Down Day's making a big name for themselves, coming out of Arkansas. All right, it's Ben Merritt hanging out with you here. It's Off the Beaten Path Podcast. Cole Washburn coming up in just a little bit. Cole's got some pretty cool news to tell us as well. He won some awards, as he deserves. We'll talk about it in just a little bit. But now, this 18-year-old, Miss Mary Sarah, has been, she's really making a name for herself in country music. And the evidence is, her latest album. It's called Bridges. She has been working with some of the biggest names in country music. Dolly Parton, Willie Nelson, Merle Haggard, Vince Gill, Tanya Tucker, and a little bit of late Ray Price as well. She's doing this great duets album. It's called Bridges, and it's right here. You're going to be hearing I don't know if I needed to even say it. Here's Mary Sarah now. It's Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt.
Jolene, 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 Jolene. I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 Jolene. Please don't take him just because you can. Your beauty is beyond compare with flaming locks of auburn hair, with ivory skin and eyes of emerald green. Your smile is like a breath of spring, your voice is soft like summer rain, and I cannot compete with you, Jolene. He talks about you in his sleep. There's nothing I can do to keep from crying when he calls your name, Jolene, Jolene. And I can easily understand how you could easily take my man, but you don't know what it means to me, Jolene, 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 Jolene. I'm begging of you, please don't take my man, Jolene, 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 Jolene. Please don't take him just because you can. You could have your choice of man, but I can never love again. He's the only one for me, Jolene. I had to have this talk with you. My happiness depends on you, and whatever you decide to do, Jolene, 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 Jolene. I'm begging of you, please don't take my man, Jolene, 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 Jolene. Please don't take him just because you can.
Off the Beaten Path podcast
Fresh new country.
at OTBP podcast. Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt. Beautiful thing about this gig that I set up for myself, and yes, it was done just pure out of selfishness, is I get to talk to some of the coolest up-and-coming country artists that there are. One of the guys that I am a big fan of now that I've introduced myself, and he's introduced himself to me, is Cole Washburn. Cole, how are you, man?
Good. How's it going?
It's going pretty well, and I think we made a connection on Twitter at first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, and then it kind of grew from there where we were emailing back and forth, and now we're talking to each other. So maybe one day our Twitter conversation will lead into a real life, an in-person meeting.
That would be great.
All right, but I'm happy with being able to chat with you and get to know a little bit more about you. But first, Cole, before we dive headlong into this great interview that we're about to have, I have 2 icebreaker questions I have to ask you. Are you ready?
I think I'm ready.
Okay. I didn't warn him at all. I always do this. I never warn them about the icebreaker questions. If they listen to the podcast, then they know what's coming up. But now I know that none of you listen to my show. No, it's okay. I'm just kidding. Cole, icebreaker question number 1, and feel free to be as specific or non-specific as you would like to be, because you probably won't be there when people hear this, is where are you right now?
Where am I right now? I am at home.
Well, there you go.
Which is a nice thing. I haven't been home much this summer, so it's a good thing.
Well, we're actually going to talk about where you just were coming up in the second half of the interview, because that was kind of an exciting time for you, I'm sure.
It was a great time, and I guess really to answer your question, home is in Nashville, near a little bit south of Nashville, Tennessee.
There you go. Very cool. Now people are going to come looking for you, though.
That's all right. I got a gun. I got a gun.
Cole Washburn will protect his house at all costs.
I'm mostly protecting my dog.
There you go. Now, what kind of dog do you have?
He is a mix of Australian Shepherd and Poodle. He's called an Aussie Doodle.
Aussie Doodle. I love the hybrid names that are coming out now.
I know.
Like Labradoodle. And basically anytime that a poodle is involved, I love it because it just ends with oodle.
Because he's oodles and oodles of fun.
There you go.
He's 4 months old, and he's a mess, but he's a good dog. I love him.
Aw, he's a 4-month-old puppy still. I've got a 2-year-old puppy, and he'll never get out of the puppy stage, I don't think. So he's a 2-year-old pit bull black lab mix. So
okay,
yeah, he's a handful anyway.
I understand.
All right, now question number 2, sir, and this is the one that really drives the overall vibe of the interview and see how everybody's going to be. What are you wearing right now?
Oh my goodness. Well, we had a bonfire last night at my place. Some friends came out, and so I've got the sweatshirt on. From that, I'm wearing hiking boots and some jeans and a hat.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm kind of jealous of the hoodie that you're wearing right now. A bonfire smell will last for days, and it's the greatest thing ever.
I love it.
Yeah. I'm kind of jealous of the hoodie you're wearing right now. So I'm just going to move on.
I think there's even some marshmallow on it somewhere. We're eating s'mores. So.
I don't think we can continue this interview now. Now I need to go get lunch. Oh. All right. We'll power through this so we can both break and go get some food. But
Good.
Cole, again, I found you on Twitter, found you on Spotify. I liked what I heard, and we just kind of got in touch, and I really enjoyed it. The great thing that I like about your music, and I know that this is going to sound not complimentary, but I do mean this as a compliment. Your music is very simple because your lyrics are the most important things to a lot of your music.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy that. You kind of just let the words and, the way that they're constructed and put together and the way that the songs portray themselves. The music isn't necessarily overpowering. It's there, and it creates a nice accompaniment, but the words and the lyrics behind some of the songs are spectacular, sir.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And kind of what I wanted to get into is, is that something that you've consciously done? Have you gone, hey, we kind of want to strip everything down a little bit, or at least on this first one, Traveler's Moon, the EP that I've been listening to. Is that at least the idea for that one? Is this going to be the Cole Washburn people can listen for years to come, or is this just the first project, that you've done that on?
Well, I think that this is my first solo project,
mm-hmm.
and I really wanted it to be kind of stripped down, more organic. Really, the goal was when we go in and we play somewhere, wherever that is, can we represent what's on the record? And if I've got songs way overly produced, can't really recreate that for my fans.
Right.
And I wanted something that they listen to the record, they go to the show, and they get to hear, what's going on. And I've got a great band that plays with me. I'm real excited about that. And so it's exciting to be able to represent your music.
Well, like I said, it sounds spectacular. The delivery that you give it, the words that there's there, the meaning, all of that is just, it all blends so well together, and it sounds so great. I'm really excited, and I hope that that's how it continues to roll. And if what you said is true, it's probably going to be that way for a long time.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I'm enjoying making the music. So.
Well, good. Now, the other question I wanted to ask you, because the lyrics are so strong, and I know that you are a singer-songwriter, when you go into writing some of these songs, and we'll get into specifically Anastasia in just a second, and then we're going to talk about Timberline in a little bit, but so maybe some of the other songs on the EP, they all have like a different process that you go through, am I correct?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So tell us a little bit about what went into some of the other songs on the album.
Well, I've been writing, this style of music I mean, my whole life. I remember writing my first country song when I was in high school. I was probably about 15, and about some girl named Tracy, I think. But anyway,
It's always a girl.
that's always a girl. I think that the songs on this record, I was intentionally trying to tell stories. If you take the song Traveler's Moon, for example, the idea of the Traveler's Moon kind of popped in my head as, something that is there for all of us as we're along our journey and kind of illuminating the way. And so I started thinking about not only musicians that are out on the road and traveling, but just everybody along their kind of life's path. And so I just tried to write things that I felt like people could relate to, and people seem to resonate with that song. The other songs, Old Will Brown's kind of a funny little song.
I enjoyed it. I chuckled a few times during that one, definitely.
I just, some of my lyrics can be a little bit deep. So I wanted something that was just kind of, off the cuff. There's a street near my house called Will Brown, and I was out running one day, and I was like, I wonder who that guy was, So I just wrote a song about him.
Oh, so you didn't actually find out who that Will Brown was? You just made up who that Will Brown was?
That Will Brown is.
Perfect. I think that's even better than finding out who he is.
That's who he is now. Let's see, what else have we got? Beautiful to Me. I'd written that with, actually there was a girl named Julie McLeod, and she's a great country singer here in Nashville. She sent me a version of Beautiful to Me, and some of the lyrics. I kind of took it and I changed it quite a bit as far as the melody. And we kind of finished that one up together, and I like that song. I wish it was a little bit faster. When you go back later and listen to your stuff, you're like, we probably could have changed that a little bit. But I'm real happy with it. People seem to get it, and so. But I particularly like the lyrics on that. It's a love song. Yeah, it has some cool imagery, which I love. Kind of creating. I guess kind of a visual for people through songs. It's kind of a fun thing for me.
Yeah, and like I said, your words are so descriptive, and basically it seems like you're very comfortable with, a guitar and a pen and pad as well. Either one that you put in your hand, you're going to find something that's, going to be really things people that it's going to be something that people are really connecting to. So that's always good.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, that's definitely been my goal, is to, when I write, I usually don't write like the lyrics first, and I don't really write the song first. I just kind of do it together and combine it. And so, this has been quite a process over time, but sometimes the songs just kind of pop in my head, and there they are. Yeah. So it's different for each one, like you said.
All right. Well, very cool. We'll talk about Timberline in just a little bit because that's your latest single, but we want to talk about right now the song Anastasia. And if I remember correctly, I read somewhere that a friend bet you that you can't put the word Anastasia in a song. Is that what it was?
That's right, because she's a friend of mine, and she's a Greek girl, and she's 4'11", and I'm 6'3".
Holy cow!
When we hung out, it was quite quite a sight. But her name's Stacy, but her Greek given name is Anastasia. And she's like, I bet you can't put my song, my name in a song. And I was like, let me see what I can do. So the song has absolutely nothing to do with her. Yeah. Except that it's her name. So it's definitely just kind of a made up story, but. The song is kind of about a guy who loses the love of his life to whatever it might be, drugs or alcohol or whatever his addiction is. And so, she eventually does come back, and he gets his life together, and it's kind of about restoration of that relationship. So
very cool.
That's Anastasia.
Well, there you go. And it has nothing to do with that Anastasia that's in Nashville. So
Nope.
there you go. So if you see Anastasia, 4'11" Anastasia out with 6'3" Cole Washburn, that song is not about her, other than the fact that it is named after her.
Correct. That's right.
Well, Cole, we're going to take a listen to that one real quick, and we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more. All right, sir?
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, here we go. It's Cole Washburn now, and this is Anastasia. It's Off the Beaten Path podcast from me, Ben Merritt.
Bottles dry, lying on the floor, waiting for the sound of the door. There's one thing I can't ignore, the pounding of my heart. You left me standing in the rain. My oh my, how your world can change. Wake up one day and nothing's the same. I just keep holding on. Oh, I need you like the ocean needs blue. And there's nothing I can do. Anastasia, come back home. I hear a car pull up the drive, and like a flood, you're back in my life. You ain't got no alibi, and I'm still in love with you. Oh, I need you like the ocean needs blue, and there's nothing I can do. Anastasia, come back home. The calm in my storm, but I pushed you away, and I'll never know what brought you home, but I hope it's to stay. Anastasia, come back home.
So there you go. That is the first tune we're going to hear from Mr. Cole Washburn. That's Anastasia. Cole, how are you, sir?
I am doing fine. How are you, Ben?
I'm doing well. And as we were listening to Anastasia, you had a visitor at the door. I heard the pup barking in the background, and it's good to know that he's going to be a good guard dog someday.
Oh, yeah, he's watching out for me.
Now, does he go out on the road with you, or will he go out on the road with you when he gets big enough, maybe?
Yeah, I think when he gets a little bit bigger, he'll definitely go out with us for sure.
There you go. Yeah, he's got to get house broken before he can get van broken, right?
Yeah, and learn how to sleep on the road. All that stuff, you know.
Well, I'm sure it's tough for you guys to learn how to sleep on the road too. Traveling musicians, it's got to be a little difficult.
Yeah, the hardest thing is, after a show, you're pretty much hyped up.
Yeah.
And so getting yourself to settle down and getting the band guys to settle down a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Get everybody to go to sleep.
I'm sure it's easier for the man who's signing the paychecks to go, okay, guys, we need to rest because we got to drive like 16 hours tomorrow just to get to the next show. So
Exactly.
But they're like, oh, no way, man, we're drinking. This bar gave us an open tab.
I know, right? Like, let's order some pizza.
Let's not. Yeah. All right. Cole Washburn here on Off the Beaten Path podcast. And, well, sir, we mentioned it earlier on in the interview, and you had a very busy weekend. We're recording on a Monday, obviously, just so that people were not too surprised. But you had a very busy weekend, and you were in Kentucky winning an award, weren't you?
Yeah, it was a great time. It was a cool thing. It was in Ashland, Kentucky, at this beautiful theater from the early 1900s. They had the IMEA awards there.
Now,
Go ahead.
For people who don't know, tell us what the IMEA is.
It stands for the International Media and Entertainment Awards.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So,
and
you were nominated for 3 awards at that, though.
Nominated for 3, Best Americana Artist, Best Americana Record, and then Best Song, and I won Best Song for Head Above the Water.
Very cool stuff.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Congratulations on that. Were you one of those people that was just like, oh, I'm really just honored to be nominated?
Yeah, I was glad to be there. I was there with some friends. My mom came out. And we just had a good time, so I was thrilled to have actually gotten the win.
Yeah, I'm sure and I'm not saying this to you specifically, but as an up and coming, country artist, singer, songwriter, anytime that you're nominated is probably big enough. I mean, who else was in the category with you? Was it a few names that people were like, oh yeah, they're probably going to win that one, or?
Yeah, there was a group actually out of Nashville called Tennessee. They won. They walked away with 2 awards, and there were a lot of good artists there, a lot of good performances. One of the unique things about the IMEAs is that they recognize and have awards for the musical theater world, and I've never really been a part of anything like that. So there were a lot of great performances from musicals like Godspell and Big River and Into the Woods and stuff like that. And
wow.
It was fun to watch, but they covered just about every genre.
Very cool.
That's out there. Yeah, it's cool.
Well, congratulations on your award for the Best Americana Song with Head Above the Water. And I'm sure if, like I said, man, I think it'll be the first of many, all right?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. Now it's time to follow Cole pretty much everywhere he goes, and not in a creepy way where you're, right behind him. But this is the Pip Yourself portion of the show, sir. Go ahead and tell everybody how they can follow you online, Facebook, Twitter, if you got an Instagram account, anything like that. How can people follow your career?
Well, first and foremost, they can go to my website, which is simply colewashburn.com. From there, you can find, my Twitter account, my Facebook, and all that stuff. My Twitter handle is Washburn Songs. Facebook is the same, so find me out there, hit me up. I usually get back to people.
Yeah,
I love talking, so. You
were pretty quick responding to me on Twitter, I know that, and then I think you emailed me like almost immediately afterwards as well, so.
Yeah, I like to stay on top of it because otherwise I get pretty overwhelmed.
Busy, man. That's the best way for an up-and-coming singer-songwriter to be, so.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, we've been mentioning it, and we talked about a bunch of the songs in the first portion of the interview, but now it's time to talk about the rest of the project. Traveler's Moon EP. I've been listening to it, like I said, for the last couple of weeks, and it's amazing, sir. And I am so excited to hear it, and I hope a lot of people will start listening to it after they hear your great interview with me, too.
Me too, and you are doing a great interview.
Well, thank you, sir. The interviewee is usually the precursor to a good interview. So the interviewer just asks questions. So, but the Traveler's Moon EP, it's your first project that you've done on your own, and like I said, it sounds great. People can find it pretty much anywhere. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, as far as digitally, they can get it at any digital outlet, Amazon, iTunes. Whatever, it's on Spotify. They can actually order the physical copy off of my website. We have a web store on there. We've got T-shirts and harmonicas and all kinds of good stuff. Plus the EP is available for sale on there as well.
You have harmonica merch?
We have little harmonicas that say Cole Washburn on them.
Is there a lot of demand for the harmonicas? Because I feel like I would be selling a lot of those if I were you.
Yeah, they're pretty popular.
Well, of course they are. That's kind of fun. I like that. It's different than like the old can koozie.
It is. It's very. I played in Oklahoma, and that's where I was really introduced to the koozie. For some reason, I didn't know that was a big thing. So
your beers were just getting warm in your hand all this time?
I'm not a big beer drinker.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that's the problem. I like now I'll drink some cider.
Yeah.
Like an Angry Orchard or something. But beer just really has never really done it for me.
Well, hopefully nobody turns you off because of that. How about that?
Right? Not at all. No. But I did meet this great merch person, and she created these harmonicas that are about an inch big.
Oh, they're just little bitty ones. That's cool.
Little tiny ones. You put them on your chain, on your necklace, or whatever.
Yeah.
And so if you're bored, you need a little tune, pull out your harmonica.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Actually, that's really cool. All right. I'll have to order my Cole Washburn harmonica.
There you go.
All right. Now it's time to hear the new single, the latest one that's out, which, by the way, I think has a really cool message. It's called Timberline. Tell us about it.
Timberline, I actually wrote that song a couple of years ago. And it's kind of about remembering back. In the song, the guy's really young. And it's around the time frame of actually the bombing of the USS Cole, which was in the 80s.
Which you picked on purpose because of your name, right?
There you go. I actually didn't. It just happened that way.
Okay.
Because 4 kind of rhymed with the song, like the words and stuff worked. So this little boy's 4 years old, and they live out in the woods, and his brother, walks away from the house to go to war, and he doesn't come home, basically, is the song. And it's, it's kind of the grieving that he goes through, and then later in the song, he's a little bit older looking back on those times. And it has a cool message in the chorus, which, I guess we'll just let people listen.
Yeah, absolutely. And, sir, like I said, it is time to take a listen to it, but I appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming by and talking to us here on the podcast, and hopefully we'll be able to get in touch more often, and every time you got something good coming up, we'll get to talk to you, all right?
You bet. Thanks so much, man.
Cole, you have yourself a great one, and now let's take a listen to it. It's Timberline. It's Mr. Cole Washburn here on Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt.
Well, I was born around 1984. Sugar cane is all I've ever known. There's a wind that blows tonight, reminds me of those times, sitting on my grandpa's porch, looking through the timberline. He headed off to fight the war when I was only 4. I remember how strong he was, brave and self-assured. My mama promised me someday he'd return, and he would come the way he left, walking through the timberline. Wherever you go, you take a part of me, so I pray for your return. And I hope you know all that you have dreamed will be here waiting at your home, just beyond the timberline. Now I'm grown and gone. Sometimes I go back and listen for the morning dove to tell me you've come home. But one sits all alone, she can't find a song. So she flies away above the timberline. Wherever you go, take a part of me. So I prayed for your return. And I hope you know all that you have dreamed will be here waiting at your home, just beyond the timberline.
It's Off the Beaten Path Podcast with me, Ben Merritt. Like us on Facebook.com/OTBP Podcast.
My old-fashioned gal don't like the bustle of the city and the flushing pots and cyber spots and no space to get away from the racket. She knows a place where an old Appalachia, where the chicory blooms to a chickadee's tune, and she plucks the mint and buttercups. My old-fashioned gal is a real kind of pal. She don't care if I'm poor. Once my love doesn't need any more than to have me around when the sun's going down. I do what I shall. I'm a old-fashioned gal. She likes to write her letters on a piece of pretty paper and put them in an envelope with a stamp and mail it at the post office. She digs for ramps in the West Virginia woods, takes them home to her little shack, spends the evening just a pickling and grinning. My old-fashioned gal is a real kind of pal. She don't care if I'm poor. Once my love doesn't need any more than to have me around when the sun's going down. I do what I shall. I'm an old-fashioned gal. Flowers, well, walking through the grassy meadows, makes violet jam in little cans, gives them away to her friends and family. I'd like to stay in a lovely little mountain home, and with her hand in mine, forget the time as we gaze at the clouds and the rhododendrons. My old-fashioned gal is a real kind of pal. She don't care if I'm poor. Once my love doesn't need any more than to have me around when the sun's going down. I do what I shall. I'm an old-fashioned gal. I do what I shall. I'm a sweet, young, pretty, old-fashioned gal.
Off the Beaten Path Podcast, me, Ben Merritt. There is the Carper family, and yes, they are a family band. Old Fashioned Gal is the name of the song. Old Fashioned Gal is the name of the album. Released in 2013, and it didn't start there. Oh, no. Oh, no. They got together around the winter of 2010. The sisters had been kind of doing their own thing in different bands and stuff like that. Well, finally, they were like, well, it's a family thing, so let's just do this. Not only did it kind of just spark off, but they also earned themselves Best Country Album of the Year for 2012 at the Independent Music Awards, which Well, duh. Shall we just say duh? There's the Carper family again, an old-fashioned gal. Ben Merritt hanging out with you here on Off the Beaten Path podcast. Thanks to Cole Washburn for swinging on by and chatting with us this week. Right now, let's head to the Great White North via Nashville. His name is Derek Rutten. Derek has got a sweet name, a sweet voice. Sweet name as in because, well, it's Deric. There you go. That's how you spell Derek when you're from Ontario. Here it is. Let's take the week off. It's Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt.
Gonna kick on back, peel this label, what you do, your Friday dance. Pour a little of your favorite something in your glass. Girl, toss it back. We could go downtown, meet our friends, check out a band, get good and loud. You could put on that red dress, makes my head spin round. Or we could sneak off and take the week off. Start with your ponytail, girl, won't you shake it loose? Slip out of that dress, strip off your troubles too. Go ahead and leave a trail for me to follow you on down the hallway, baby. Been a long 5 days, and I wanna watch you take the week off. One kiss at a time, gonna melt the stress and hurry, make it all okay. Don't even have to cash in our vacation days. Don't have to be gone to take the week off. Start with your ponytail, girl, won't you shake it loose? Slip out of that dress, strip off your troubles too. Go ahead and leave a trail for me to follow you on down the hallway, baby. Been a long 5 days, and I wanna watch the way that you shine when you unwind. Go ahead and leave a trail, and I will follow you on down the hallway, baby. Been a long 5 days, and I wanna watch you take the week off.
It's Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben
It's
Merritt.
interesting. I love music. I like listening to all the new songs that they play.
Like us on Facebook.com/OTBP podcast and join the conversation.
Truck, take her way out of town, where even them good old boys and hillbillies turn around. It's where you'll find our family farm with the good old rusty red gate. No trespassing sign underlined 3 times, banned our since '88. It's where I play my string music, got my bow in my hand. My favorite thing to do, come from in Michigan, is to play that string music. Yeah, it sounds so right, coming out of that old oak tree on a clear October night. That's right. Check the wind, it's out of the west again. I'll hit my favorite spot just north of the pine, that's where it all began.
Just last week, my brother was sitting that stand. Said he saw a buck so big it'd bring the shakes to any man. I'm gonna play me some string music. I got my bow in my hand. My favorite thing to do, come fall in Michigan, is to play that string music. Every chance I get, not doing it enough, Lord, that's my only regret. Oh, that's it. My daddy work his life away. You can look me in the eye, I won't make that same mistake. When I'm sitting here in my tree stand tonight, I let them little bugs pass on by, but a big one's gonna die. I'm gonna play me some string music. I got my bow in my hand, oh yeah. My favorite thing to do back home in Michigan is to play that string music. Every chance I get, not doing it enough, Lord, that's my only regret. You gotta give me that string music. Oh, it sounds so right, coming out of that old oak tree on a clear October night.
Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt. There is Joe Rude and string music. And Joe is actually a guy that I've met quite a few times, a couple times. He is a former member of Gunner and the Grizzly Boys and still claims affiliation to the Grizzly Mafia. It's just Joe's decided to pop off and do his own thing for a little bit. He's not saying that he's done with Gunner and the boys over at the Grizzly Boys. He's just saying that he wants to do his thing for now, and that's fine. Absolutely. Joe is a music-loving outdoorsman from Michigan. He's grateful for the life the Lord has blessed him with, and now it's time to share it. And he's an avid bow hunter and fly angler. Joe often does things the hard way. He's a gritty, hard-working man, and it's that grit, along with being blue-collar as hell, that will keep you tuned in to Joe Rude Music. That's directly taken off his Facebook page, so, and I have to agree. Ben Merritt hanging out with you. It's Off the Beaten Path podcast. Stick around. I'll tell you who's coming up next week, and, well, we'll wrap it all up. But first, here's Kaylee Swanson. Kaylee is a beautiful voice, and this is a big fun song, actually. Country love song. It's Kaylee Swanson here on Off the Beaten Path podcast. Me, Ben Merritt.
You put your beat-up Chevy truck in park, and you walked me through the dark. Now the goodnight kiss still on my heart. As I step inside, I try to listen to Taylor on repeat. Then I switch to Blake and Keith. Wanna match the image that I see of you and I. They might sound soft and they might sound sweet, but they always seem to miss the gap in your teeth. Yeah, they might be rare and they might be true, but none of them really sound like you. This is not another country love song. I wrote this one for you so you could sing along. This is not another country love song. Baby, you and I were gonna dance till dawn. You caught my eye with the corner of your smile, and your laid-back country style. The way you laugh makes everything worthwhile. Baby, yeah. truck in the park, and you walked me through the dark. This is not another country love song. I wrote this one for you so you could sing along. This is not another country love song. Baby, you and I were gonna dance until dawn. This is not another country love song. I wrote this one for you so you could sing along. This is not another country love song. Baby, you and I were gonna dance until dawn. Country love song. Country love song.
Off the Beaten Path podcast, me, Ben Merrick, Kaylee Swanson, Country Love Song. Go check out the video for that one. It is, yeah, let's just say that she's bringing back, or continuing on in the footsteps of some pretty badass girls in country music. And, well, she deserves it. Kaylee Swanson, again, this isn't her first single. She's got a few out there before it. Hooked back in 2012, a pair of them in 2013, Forget About You and Happy Heartbreak, and the most recent Country Love Song. Again, check them all out. I found her on Spotify. I'm sure you can find her other places as well. She's got a Twitter feed. She's got a Facebook. She's got a YouTube. And she's on iTunes. So, Off the Beaten Path podcast, me, Ben Merritt. That's going to do it. Again, thank you very much for Cole Washburn stopping by and chatting with us. And actually, he was very fun. I loved his music, though. Oh, the lyrics of those songs were just amazing. And I said it several times throughout the interview. I don't mean it as a diss. Some people take it as a diss, but his music is very simple. The music is not the important thing, though. It's the words of country songs. It's the stories behind them. So you got to keep that in mind as well, too. The music's great. It's great accompaniment, but it is the words and the stories that are important. So other than that, thanks for hanging out. It's Off the Beaten Path podcast every week. Find us online, otbppodcast.com. Find us on Facebook, facebook.com/OTBP podcast, at OTBP podcast on Twitter. And yeah, I made it pretty easy for you to find us and follow us and be involved. So next week, we'll hear from Cody Prevost, or Prevost. Canadian. Prevost is actually how it's pronounced. So stick around for that. It's next week here on Off the Beaten Path podcast. Have yourself a good one. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.